Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. This is Spectrum Television News at 12. We come to you live from Uyo, the Kwabram State's capital. My name is Uyai Imam. Let's take a look at the headlines. President Tinubu absent as Shetima leads Armed Forces Remembrance Day tribute in Abuja. NIS updates passport tracking system amid public outcry over delay. In other news, Trump becomes first United States president to deploy AI deepfakes in political messaging. We'll bring you the details of these stories and more in a moment. Thanks for joining us. First in the news at noon is from the national scene, where the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, is attending proceedings marking the 2026 Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day at the Cenotaph of the Unknown Soldier in Eagle Square, Abuja. The Vice President is representing President Bola Tinubu, who is currently in the United Arab Emirates for the Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week 2026. The AFCRD is an annual event organized by the Ministry of Defense to honor fallen heroes who paid the ultimate price in service to the nation. These include personnel who died during the First and Second World Wars, the Nigerian Civil War, peace support operations, and various internal security engagements, particularly the ongoing fight against terrorism that threatens Nigeria's corporate existence. Beyond remembrance, the event also celebrates living veterans and serves as a platform to solicit financial and moral support for their welfare, as well as for the families of fallen service members. While the AFCRD is observed globally, Nigeria's commemoration reflects its unique historical experience. The federal government has warned prospective investors in the 2025 oil licensing round that any errors, miscalculations, or disappointments arising from the bidding process will be borne entirely by the companies involved, stressing that there will be no refunds of signature bonuses or exchanges of oil assets under any circumstances. The warning was issued by the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Oil Henneken Lokwobiri, at the 2025 Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission pre-bid conference held in Lagos. The conference, which attracted a large turnout both physically and online, was aimed at educating prospective bidders on available assets, the legal framework, and the risks involved in the licensing process. Lokobiri said the era when oil licenses were acquired for speculation, prestige, or resale was over, adding that licenses are government assets that must be actively developed. In the meantime, the federal government has directed all banks and fintechs to collect and remit 7.5% value-added tax on certain electronic banking services effective Monday, January 19, 2026. According to an email notice issued by payment platforms, the VAT will apply to electronic banking charges, including mobile money transfers, USSD transaction fees, and card issuance fees. According to an email notice on Wednesday shared with customers by MoneyPoint Nigeria, for example, if a bank charges 100 naira to make a transfer, the 7.5% VAT will be applied to that service fee, not money being sent. In another development, the Nigeria Immigration Service (NIS) has announced the rollout of an enhanced passport tracking feature. The update posted by the service on X, today followed rising public clamor over delays in passport issuance and collection. According to the service, it had observed that hundreds of passports produced had remained uncollected, leading to increasing complaints from applicants. The feature is intended to give applicants clearer visibility on when their passports are ready for pickup or courier delivery, thereby reducing uncertainty around processing timeline. Elsewhere, the National Judicial Council (NJC) has recommended the elevation and appointment of the presiding justice of the Court of Appeal Enugu Division, Justice Olubunmi Oyewole, for appointment as Justice of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. NJC's Deputy Director of Information, Kemi Babalola Ogedengbe, disclosed this in a statement on Wednesday. Babalola Ogedengbe said the council, at its 110th meeting held January 13, 2026, and presided over by the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekere-Ekun, recommended Justice Oyewole for appointment as a Justice of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, alongside 35 other candidates for various judicial offices across the country. Justice Oyewole, born on May 13, 1965, is from Ila Oragun, Osun State, and takes the southwest slot made vacant as a result of the retirement of the immediate past Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukade Ariwola. In Africa, clashes between the Chadian army and the MPRD rebel group have killed at least 6 people in the country's south. According to the army, in a statement, the fighting erupted Tuesday morning in Kabul in the Moyen-Kari region, leaving 3 soldiers dead and 10 wounded. MPRD leader Lok Bayam said the rebels had lost 3 martyrs and had 2 fighters wounded. Chad has been ruled for more than 3 decades by the same family, late President Idris Deby and now his son Mohammed, and is frequently rocked by rebel offensives, which sometimes reach the capital, Jamena. Still in Africa, as Madagascar continues its political transition after the ouster of the previous government, it is strengthening cooperation with Russia. According to the Madagascar presidency on Wednesday, Moscow is supplying military equipment to the Indian Ocean nation and has sent a delegation to train armed forces in its use. The training will cover different types of equipment. Various military units based in the capital will take part. The presidency said it is willing, to work with all countries, but said historically Madagascar has sourced its military equipment from Russia. On the foreign scene, from playing football in the Oval Office to sipping cocktails on a sun lounger in Gaza and attacking critics from a fighter jet, Donald Trump has become the first United States president to deploy AI-generated imagery as a key tool of political communications. In the first year of his second term in the White House, Trump ramped up his use of hyper-realistic but fabricated visuals on Truth Social and other platforms, often glorifying himself while lampooning his critics, underscoring the strategy's potential appeal to younger voters. Similar AI-driven messaging has also been adopted by other arms of the Trump administration as well as by some of the president's rivals. Still on the foreign scene, the Trump administration is placing an indefinite pause on immigrant visa processing from 75 countries including Nigeria and Ghana further restricting the legal routes for entering the United States. The State Department yesterday said the administration wants to bring an end to the abuse of the system by those who would extract wealth from the American people by using welfare and public benefits. President Donald Trump has sought to limit both illegal and legal crossings into the U.S. since returning to office, and his administration has already halted immigrant visa processing for people from Brazil, Iran, Russia, and Somalia. The order takes effect on January 21st, but a full list of the 75 countries is yet to be released. Still to come in the news. Morocco beats Nigeria 4-2 on penalties to face Senegal in final. Stay tuned for details of this and more in a moment.
Get ready for the exciting showdown, the biggest names, the toughest competition, and the most thrilling moments. From the gridiron to hardwood and from the pitch to the track. Join us for Sports AM to 12 noon on Spectrum Television. Sports Central, your home for sports.
Welcome back and thanks for staying tuned. And now to the rest of the news stories. On our business news, the Dangote Petroleum Refinery has commenced nighttime loading operations as it intensifies efforts to sustain a daily supply of more than 50 million litres of premium motor spirit across Nigeria, signaling a major shift to full 24-hour operations at the Africa's largest refinery. The move comes as the refinery continues to ramp up production, stabilize logistics, and strengthen fuel security, while countering speculation around maintenance activities and supply disruptions. Originally designed for daytime evacuation, the facility has now expanded loading to night hours to ensure that rising output is matched with uninterrupted offtake. Speaking during a press briefing at the refinery on Wednesday, the managing director, David Bird, said the transition to round-the-clock loading had become necessary to meet market demand and improve turnaround time for product evacuation. Still in business, the power sector lost about 187 billion naira to unbilled energy between July and October 2025, as data from the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission revealed that electricity distribution companies failed to issue this amount as bills to customers during the period, underscoring persistent inefficiencies that continue to weaken the industry's liquidity. According to NERC's Commercial Performance of Distribution Companies fact sheets, the 11 discos received electricity valued at 300.04 billion naira in July, but billed customers only 243.14 billion naira, leaving 54.9 billion naira unbilled and translating to a billing efficiency of 81.04%. In August, billing efficiency improved slightly to 83.85%, but 45.97 billion naira worth of energy was still not billed out of the 284.64 billion naira received. September recorded the best performance within the period, with billing efficiency rising to 86.43%, though losses remained significant at 37.91 billion naira. Other health news: Osun State government has said about 2,048,840 children in the state within the age bracket of 9 months and 14 years are being targeted for immunization in the forthcoming measles rubella vaccination campaign. This was disclosed by the State Commissioner for Health, Jola Akintola, while addressing the media in Osogbo ahead of the campaign that will be carried out across the 30 local government areas and Modakeke area office. Rubella, also known as German measles, is a contagious viral disease that presents similarly to measles but is generally milder. Symptoms include rash, runny nose, cough, and red watery eyes. However, the disease poses serious risk, particularly for pregnant women, and can lead to congenital rubella syndrome, which may cause blindness, deafness, heart defects, or brain damage in newborns. Still in health, the World Health Organization has called on governments to significantly increase taxes on sugary drinks and alcohol to save lives. WHO warns that beverages like sugary drinks and alcohol are too accessible and cost too little in most of the world, helping fuel obesity, diabetes, cancer, and injury. Among other findings, the report on sugar-sweetened beverage taxes shows that at least 116 countries tax sugary drinks. It added that sodas or carbonated canned drinks, high sugar products such as 100% fruit juices, sweetened milk drinks, and ready-to-drink coffees and teas escape taxation. The report on the use of alcohol taxes showed that 167 countries levy taxes on liquor, wine, and beer. It, however, noted that alcohol has become more affordable or remained unchanged in price in most countries since 2022, as taxes do not get adjusted for inflation and income growth. Again, now to the world of sports, where Nigeria Super Eagles on Wednesday lost 4-2 in a penalty shootout to host nation Morocco at the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations after a 10-0 draw at the Prince Moulay Abdullah Stadium. The semi-final was an evenly contested affair over 120 minutes, with Morocco dominating much of the attacking play, registering 16 shots to Nigeria's 2. Both sides created chances, but Nigeria's Stanley Nwabali and Morocco's Yassine Monoun kept their teams in the game with key saves. Star forwards Victor Osimhen and Ademola Lookman struggled to influence the match, and their efforts in extra time were thwarted by the host defense and goalkeeper. Nigeria's hopes were dashed when Samuel Chukwueze and Bruno Emachi failed to convert, giving Morocco a 4-2 shootout victory. Still in sports, Arsenal ruined Chelsea manager Liam Rosenau's first home game as they moved closer to Wembley with a 3-2 win in the League Cup semi-final first leg on Wednesday. Rosenau's side had beaten second-tier Charlton 5-1 in his debut in the FA Cup third round last weekend, but Arsenal ensured his first game on the Stamford Bridge bench was significantly less enjoyable. Ben White put the Premier League leaders ahead in the first half, and Victor Gokier's punished a blunder by Chelsea goalkeeper Robert Sanches to score via second after the interval. Alejandro Garnacho came off the bench to pull one back for Chelsea before Martin Zubeni grabbed Arsenal's third goal. On our entertainment news, Afrobeat singer Davido has lost a $50,000 bet on Nigeria to beat Morocco in the African Cup of Nations semi-final clash on Wednesday as the Super Eagles lost 4-2 on penalties to the Atlas Lions. As before the match, the singer posted his bet slip on social media, showing that he placed a $50,000 bet on the Super Eagles to beat Morocco. However, he lost the bet after the game ended in a goalless draw in regulation time. Meanwhile, popular Nigerian TikToker Pella has cried out after losing a $3,000 bet on Nigeria to beat Morocco in 90 minutes. And that's all we have for you at this time. Do well to follow us on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtvlive.ng. This has been Spectrum Television News at 12. I am Uyai Imam. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon.